We wanted to welcome everybody to our training today. We're excited to have you. We have a lot of people who have signed up, a lot of people who are online already, and more that will hopefully be joining us. Today we're going to talk about the PAL, P-A-L, line of products. Our tagline on the email was giving your customers access control without the cost of access control. We are extremely excited about this product. I say that every time we do one of these, but we have cool products, and this is one that we feel fits a really good niche for you as the installer. Customers are asking for features and functionality, and a lot of times the price tag that goes along with the features that they want is not in line with what they're willing to pay. So we're introducing this product line called PAL again that is going to give them 99% of the functionality they ask for, but at a price tag that is extremely inexpensive and allows you as the installer to be the hero when you introduce this to them and to give them the functions and the features that they want. Going through this training today, we're first going to introduce to you the different options that we have with PAL. You'll see that I have our PAL system that we're going to be demoing today installed here on our key gate operator. Extremely professional wiring. This is UL certified and all that stuff wiring, so don't even worry about that. But we've got it here on our key gate operator. We're going to be showing this to you, but we have a couple different PAL receivers that do different things. They're all managed through the same web interface that we'll train you on today and show you. Now, just a brief description on what PAL does in the market that it fits. PAL is an access control system that has basically been stripped of all of the excess that you as the installer are having to pay for. So usually a customer will say, I want to be able to manage and track my tenants or my employees or whatever it is. I want to know when they're coming, when they're going, what transmitter they're using, how they're getting into the gate, what time they're getting into the gate, and I want to manage that all from extremely accessible, easy software to use. And usually you say, okay, I can give you this option, it's going to be a couple $1,000s. Well, with this PAL system, we're going to be able to show you that we can allow them to track and manage who's coming and going. We can give them a couple different options for credentials. And we're going to do it at a price tab that's extremely cost effective, and even better on top of that is it is all managed through a cloud-based software. There's no port forwarding of IP addresses. There's no running long trenches of wire. There's no worrying about getting the IT department involved. We don't have to worry about any of that that comes along with traditional access control. And so that's why we're excited about this. Like I said, we have the PAL receiver installed here. This is the version that has one relay output. So the cool thing about this is all of the PAL products are SIM card based. So we have a SIM card, and I'm going to have Melissa switch us to the camera showing this. I think we might already be on it. We have a SIM card in the side of this receiver right here. You have two antennas. This one has an antenna for the GSM signal and an antenna for this transmitter that we're going to show you. And then it is simple as this. We have 4 wires with this. We have normally open and common, 12 volt DC, which this will do 12 or 24 volt DC, and then we have our ground for our power. 4 wires, and because it's SIM card based, you don't have to run Cat5 to it, you don't have to connect to the network, none of that. Our SIM card goes to the cloud, connects to the cloud access control software, which either can be operated through the computer or there is a dumbed down version of the app, which I'll show you. So if you have customers who are getting a new system and want the functionality and features of access control, this is where you're going to want to start. Also, if you have customers who are currently operating on dip switch or programmable standalone, meaning they just have the receiver at the gate operator and they're buying a remote and changing the dip switches, or they have to go program in the transmitter every time, then this is going to be a really, really good option for you. And like I said, make you seem like the hero. So let's go ahead and jump over to our website where we have all of this listed. This has gone on the website this morning. So we got some editing and some changes we're going to be making, but you can at least find some preliminary information here. So you can see that I've got, I'm going to go ahead and refresh the page because we added it. Just one second. Like I say, every time we do a training, transmittersolutions.com, and then you can see here under our products, PAL Cloud Management. We can thank Melissa for putting these up on short notice. So we have 4 different options of the PAL receivers that we're going to be selling. You can see that we have the PAL Bluetooth controller, which I'll get into here in just a minute. We have the PAL one relay input and one relay output, which is this middle one, or you can see, I'll click on it a little bit, you can see the orange bar off to the side. The orange bar means one relay input, which you can see there, and one relay output. This would be the version that you would use if you want to monitor and be alerted if the gate is left open, or if you wanted to monitor if the door's been left open or anything like this, because the PAL1 relay has one relay input and one relay output, one to open the gate and one to monitor the gate. And then we have the PAL2 relay controller. This has two relays, no relay inputs, just two relay outputs, so you can trigger two gates, two doors, whatever you need to do. And then the last version we're going to have is the PAL RFID receiver. Sorry, my internet's going a little bit slow. The RFID is right here. This is the long-range system, and it comes with, you can see in the picture, its own receiver. All of these are the same exact size as the one on the gate. And the PAL, so the way that the RFID one will wire up is it's basically an F connector from the UHF reader to the PAL receiver. Something that you guys need to know, and this is important, is that currently, right now, the PAL products are all using a proprietary transmitter, which I'll show you, and a proprietary RFID antenna, which you can see there, and RFID cards and tags, sticker tags. So if you're going to use the PAL system, you either need to use our transmitters or our RFID antenna or our credentials for those. But the other cool part about this system is that you can also trigger the gate using an end user app, which is something that we think is extremely unique about this product. You can use hard credentials, meaning a transmitter or an RFID tag, or you can use the app. So depending on which one of these PAL products you decide to go with, and you can see a picture of the transmitter. Black is the only color that we have right now. It is a 4-button transmitter, and it's extremely cost effective. But depending on which PAL receiver you go with, all of them are going to be monitored and managed through the same cloud-based interface, which we're going to go to now. So we have it wired up to our gate, which Melissa has showed you a picture of on the camera. Melissa, let's jump back to that here real quick. Again, you can see it's extremely small. There's no wires going back to the network. That's what I really want to get across, is there's no hard wiring. Literally, this is Velcroed on right now, and I have 4 wires. 2 wires going into my relays, and then power. That's it. And it's now working the gate. And then the SIM card automatically activates. You can see we have a signal level light. This one has pretty poor signal with where we are right now inside of our building. And then we are connected to the network with that solid green light right there. So a couple indicator lights that let you know what's going on. But that's it. You take it out of the gate, you install it, and you're done. And now everything is done in the configuration. So we'll jump back over here to our computer screen, and the website you guys are going to want to go to is portal.pal-es.com. You can take a picture of that. This will be on our website. We'll have a hot link to this on our website under the PAL section, but portal.pal-es.com. You as the installer will have a login where you can come here and sign up and get a login. Your end user can have a login, and you can have as many devices as you want to manage through your one portal. So I'm going to go ahead and log in. Using my email address. Okay. And once I'm logged in, it's going to take me to my dashboard. My dashboard is where it's going to show me the devices, a quick look at the devices that I have. So you can see I currently have 2 devices. In the top left, 2 devices that I have connected to my system. Only one of my 2 devices is online. That means that only one of my 2 devices has an active working SIM card in it. You need your devices to be online. The other one's not online because it's a demo unit we travel with, and it's powered down right now. But the one that we have hooked up is our one online device. You can see both mine are tagged. On this map, I have 2 devices, and it plots on a map where they are, and you just have a quick look at everything that's going on. Now, I can drill down through this software. Again, this is all cloud-based, so you could access this from your iPad, your computer, any computer you want. There is no software that you have to download at all, none. I'm going to go ahead and click on Devices. Devices are all of my units that I have installed in the field. So if you had 10 of these, you'd have a list of 10, If you have one, you'd have a list of one. I've named one Roadshow Demo. That's our unit right now that you can see from the status. Was last powered up on April 20th. And then I've got my Transmitter Solution 6.7 with my address here. Those are the two I have. I'm going to go ahead and click on my Transmitter Solutions information device. Okay, it looks like we have a question. Like I forgot to say, if you guys have any questions, please just ask them, and Melissa will read them to me, and then we'll address them the best way possible. So, Melissa, what's the question?
Do you supply the SIM card? I am assuming this is the T-Mobile or AT&T only.
Yeah, good question. We do supply the SIM card. Every PAL system that will ship to you will ship with a SIM card that will choose the best network between AT&T or T-Mobile. We don't send a specific T-Mobile or AT&T. It searches and finds the strongest network, but it is between AT&T and T-Mobile. Your monthly cost for the SIM card, dealer monthly cost regardless of use, no matter how much you use it, is $8 a month per device. Very inexpensive. So no matter how much you use it, you're going to pay us, Transmitter Solutions, $8 a month, and then you have full access to everything that I'm showing you right here. We're not going to charge you for this cloud software. We're just going to charge you for the SIM card usage. $8 a month per device for the SIM card, and it comes loaded. You don't have to call us, anything. Right when you power it up, boom, you're ready to go. Honestly, these installs, the way this installs, it takes you about 10 minutes, and then you just do all the configuration, which is easy. So now you can see that I am in my system called Transmitter Solutions 6.7. It's at an address at an undisclosed location, maybe my house. Not really at my house, but I use that address. And it's got the SIM card phone number that you can see there, and my output I've named as main gate, because that's the gate that I'm opening. Now, I can see a log. This is an active log of everything that's going on in the system, so I'm going to go ahead and trigger this gate with my transmitter. The gate's opening, which you can't see right now. We'll show you that in a little bit, but what I want you to see is that as soon as this refreshes, it's going to go ahead and say that Quinn opened up the gate, and it's going to give me a date. There you go. A date, 11/11, and it was on 6/8, okay? So you can see that. It is an active log of everything that's going on, and this was my transmitter, and here's the serial number, and there's the battery status of my transmitter. So you will see everything that's happening. Now I'll also show you, I'll trigger the gate with my phone app. And again, I'll show you all these apps and everything. I'm just showing you the log right now. But I'll trigger the gate with my phone app. So the gate's going to be opening here in just a second. Okay. And then as soon as I've triggered that gate, I think my gate's broken. As soon as I trigger that gate, then it's going to log here. You can see, so Tim Brusky opened it with his phone. You can see the different look between a transmitter and then a phone, and you'll see mine logged right there. I opened the main gate at 11:13 on the 8th, Quinn Coford, and you can see the phone icon. So it's logging everything that's happening, the exact, giving you date, time, all of that stuff. So that's the number one thing. People want to be able to see who's coming and going. They have it right here in this log, okay? Charts is something that isn't going to be used very much, but it's basically a diagnostic. If you have any concerns what's going on, you can see the voltage history, signal level, all that stuff you can see here in the charts. Melissa, we have another question.
The date format, is it day, month, year?
Yes. Date format is day, month, year. Good catch. Day, month, year, date format. Okay. Users. Again, what we've done with this product is we're introducing something to the market that's getting rid of all the fluff that a lot of people don't use. A lot of people want to see who's coming and going. We've got that with the log. Now people want to be able to add users and manage what those users can do. Another question, Melissa?
Is this product designed around gate access?
Yes, this product is designed around gate access, but it can work with any sort of access control. Okay, but designed around gate access, what I mean by that is the credentials that are offered right now outside of the app are gate access credentials, meaning a transmitter and an RFID reader. Okay, so if I come into my users, I'm going to delete myself, and then I'll re-add myself so you guys can see this process. So I've deleted myself. I'm going to come up here to add. I'm going to put in my phone number. Okay. I'm going to put my name in, first and last name. I'm going to enter my remote control serial number, which, Melissa, let me take this over to the camera so I can show them where the serial number is shown. Every remote will come with the serial number. Oh, is this the right camera? Do I need to back up? Hold on, guys. Hold on. There we go. There we go. It's coming into focus. I just got to hold still for harder than it looks. Oh, the camera is super zoomed in. Oh, there we go. So the serial number you can see is right there below the barcode. Sorry, guys. You guys haven't started drinking early. That's the fuzziness of the camera. I know it's Friday, but okay. So we have the serial number. That serial number is what I'm going to enter into where it says remote control serial number. And this is what we'll be tracking now. So I'm going to go ahead and type this in. 150173997. You can see it's already in there from when I put it in before. Now you can select a time group. The time group is going to restrict access. So if I was to put a time group, and I've created one time group so far, the time group, so I've created the test time group. I'm going to put this as no time group, but the time group allows you to restrict when people are allowed to come and go. So if I was part of a group that said people are only allowed in between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m., if I tried to get in with either my transmitter, my RFID tag, or my app, if I tried to open the gate with my app after those hours, so it's 7 p.m., and my access was restricted till 5 p.m., the gate would not open, no matter what device you use. I can tell you that's one of the things we're really excited about is most products that have apps, they don't restrict when the app works. It works 24/7. Our product, if you set a time group, Quinn Coford can only open the gate no matter what device he has, including his app, during the time that he has access to that gate, which is really cool, and I'll show you that here in just a minute. Now, I also know that Quinn is really important, which is a true statement. So Quinn's going to be an administrator, and I'll show you what that means here in a minute, too. I'll show you what it means in a minute. I'll explain what it means right now. What that means now is that my app, the same app as the end user app, because I've selected admin, now gives me the right, through my app, to view a log of who's coming and going and to add users. If I don't select admin, if I deselect admin, then Quinn Coford is just a standard user, and all his app will do will trigger the gate during the time he's allowed. But because Quinn Coford is an admin, you can have as many administrators as you want. He now has, his app just got a little bit more functionality and features where he can add users and view a history log. I also want Quinn to be able to dial the SIM card number on that's in that receiver and be able to gain access to the gate, okay? Now I'm going to go ahead and save that. Because I have no time group, that means I have 24/7 access. And I've saved that, and now you'll see my name pop up on the screen, and you can see I am an administrator. I have access to one device, and you can quickly delete it. You can also import a file to a CSV or export this file to use on another system. Okay, so that's the users. Any questions on any of the user functionality? Again, extremely simple. Yeah, we do have a few questions.
Is the SIM card compatible with carriers outside the U.S., like Puerto Rico?
That's a really good question. I'm not sure. We will find that out. I'll actually have BY's in here. I'll have BY write that down, and we'll find out about that. So we'll find out if it is. I'm sure it is. We'll just confirm that for sure. So now we've given your customer at an extremely, I haven't even told you the price, but once you hear it, you'll be blown away. And an extremely low price, the ability to track and manage who's coming and going, and then restrict when their customers or when their tenants or employees or whatever the application is are allowed to come and go, and with what device. So if I was to add Quinn Coford, let's go back into Quinn's profile, my profile, sorry. And I didn't put a remote control serial number, I just left that blank. Actually, let's show you a user who actually has that. So if I come back here to my user list, and sorry, I'm on a touch screen here, so bear with me for a minute. If I come back here to my user list and I click on Tyler Dennison, Tyler does not have a remote control serial number. So the only way he can trigger this gate is through the app on his phone, okay? And then I'll show you another example here. We'll go to Mark. If any of you know Mark, you'll know why we restricted his access. Mark, we put as part of the time group, which means he is only allowed to open the gate between, I made it like 6 p.m., I'll look at it for sure, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. are the only times he can open the gate. And I didn't give him a remote control. I didn't give him a transmitter. So the only way he can trigger the gate is with his app. But he's only allowed to open the gate with his app outside of the times that the test group, or inside of the times that the test group allows. Okay, so just a couple different functions. So if you have customers that don't want to use the remotes, they don't have to. We obviously suggest they do because it's usually, most people always default back to the remote or the RFID sticker and use the app when necessary, okay? Now let's go into settings. Settings gives us a couple more options. Settings is where we can set how long we want our relay to hold. And if this was the dual relay, it would show output 1 and output 2, so you can set how long you want that to hold. Timer events, there is a built-in 7-day timer in all the PAL products, so you can set what time you want the gate to automatically open and what time you want it to close. So yesterday I was messing around and set it to 4:21 open, 4:21 close, Sunday through all week, every day of the week. And then I had to do it again, 4:48 and 4:50. So you can set a built-in 7-day timer. So now they have the log, where they can see who's coming and going, full customization of the users to say when they're allowed to come and go, and they can set a 7-day timer. You have your time groups. This is where you can say, I want to set up when people are allowed to come and go. So in my time groups, I made it so Mark or whoever was part of this time group could get in Sunday through Sunday from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Okay, and you can have as many of these as you want. One thing I didn't mention is this system will hold 4,000 transmitters or 12,000 RFID tags if you're using the RFID one. Melissa, we have a question.
For any reason an individual needs to be blocked from entry, can this system do that?
The way that you would block them is right now, you would just have to delete them. You can't just block them. You would just delete them and then re-add them. Good question. Okay, so I go back in the settings. So I've got my 7-day timer. I've got my groups where I can set when they're allowed to come and go. I've got my configuration where I can set what button on my remote I want to trigger what relay. So this will only be applicable in the 2 relay, but you can say which button you want to trigger. And then your tools, you can duplicate the device if you want to add it to another device, or you can delete the device. So when your customers are asking you for access control, we've found that a lot of the times they don't need all the fluff that access control offers. As a matter of fact, a lot of the times that's intimidating. This gives you the ability to give them the access control that they really want, and they're not paying. I mean, the cost is just crazy what they are paying for. Coming soon, not yet coming, will be messages where you can, and alerts, where you can be alerted if someone's entered or tried to enter when they're not supposed to, or you know, if what we have now, the alert that we have now is it will send you a push notification or an email that says you left your gate open if you have the PAL 1 input, 1 output system. But this is now giving you an extremely well-rounded product with a very, very simple user interface. So let me show you the app now, and this is going to be a little bit hard because I'm going to show it on this camera right here. So I've got my phone, and I've downloaded the app, which is called PAL, P-A-L Gate. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see this. I'll try to show it to you. Now, what this does, I'm going to try to hold my arm steady here. If I had access to more than just this main gate, they would all populate on this screen. So if I was a tenant and there's 4 gates on the property, this would show main gate, back gate, pool gate, whatever it is, would all be right here. And all you have to do is click it. Let me look at it so I can hit the right button. Click it, and then it just says opening gate. And you'll see in the background now the gate is opening. The cool thing about this is because we have the GSM SIM card, this is not restricted to being within range of the gate. You can trigger the gate to open if you give this functionality to the user. You can trigger this gate to open from anywhere in the world. It will open, okay, which is really cool. Now, if you're worried about that, that's what the Bluetooth version does. The Bluetooth version makes it so that you have to be within Bluetooth range in order to trigger the gate. So if that's a concern, then you can just step down to the Bluetooth, and then they don't have the functionality to open it from wherever they want. They have to be within Bluetooth range. Now, because I'm an administrator, I can click this little gear right here and click on Manager Options, And this is where, because I'm administrator, I can now see my users, all my users in the system, and add a new user or edit an existing user. Or I can see my history log, and you can see that Quinn just triggered the output from there. Okay, Melissa, we have another question.
Does it have gate status, open or closed?
Yes. So, sorry, I probably didn't explain that very clearly. So, if you want to have gate status to see if the gate is open or closed, you have to buy the PAL receiver that is one output, meaning it will trigger the gate, and one input. And then you have to either tie into your gate operator's input that tells you if the gate is open or closed, or use a position sensor, and then it does tell you and alert you if your gate is held open. Okay? So we do have that ability. We have another question.
How do you handle giving access to multiple devices for a multi-gate access?
I'm going to need that question explained a little bit more. Sorry, I'm not sure I understand it. How do we handle, read it one more time to me, Melissa, please.
How do you handle giving access to multiple devices for a multi-gate access?
So, yeah, so if I understand you correctly, so in my app, I only have one gate set up. But if I had Quinn Coford, if I gave Quinn Coford access to more than one gate, all the gates would show up in this app, and I could scroll down and go through them and open them. One would be called main gate, one would be called back gate, and so on and so forth. And one user can have as many gates as they want on one app. Hopefully that answers your question. And again, this app will trigger from anywhere. So now you have the RFID antenna or tag option, if you go with that, or you have the remote control option with the serial number on the back that's tracking. And again, I can open the gate with that. This is a 433 megahertz transmitter, so the range between this and the receiver is extremely good. Or you can trigger it with your app. Again, all of these are restricted to the time group that you allot to this person, which is really nice, including the app. That's a really, really cool feature. What's that? App is PALGate, P-A-L-G-A-T-E. The last way that you can trigger the gate is with this wireless exit sensor. Okay? This is a battery powered with a 7-year battery life. Totally hardcore. We have videos of big trucks driving over it. Exit device. This is not a safety loop. This is an exit sensor only, just exit. You can either bury it in the ground and leave the top a little bit exposed, or you can screw it into the ground. There's a battery right here. You set it on the ground. You add this serial number that's on this sticker to the software. So you'd add a user and call it wireless exit device. You stick this on the ground. Okay, you screw it into the ground. You put a magnet on it that comes with the device. Here, I can scoot it back a little bit so you can see it. I'm going to slip here. Okay? You'd put it on the ground, and now this wirelessly communicates back to the receiver and will sense a car within 3 feet. It's got a 3-foot circle around it, and when it goes over, it will trigger the gate to open. So now you have a wireless exit device where you don't have to dig for loops or any of that stuff, and this also communicates with the PAL. So we've got the transmitter, the RFID tags, and this wireless exit device along with the app. And it looks like we have another question.
A clarification on the last one. Do you have to enter the user information individually into each controller for a multi-gate access?
Oh, okay, that makes more sense. So you're saying that if we go to our users and there's more than one device, do we have to add them in? No, you don't. If you have more than one device, all you'd come to is the settings, and then you'd come to the tools and you would duplicate device, and then it's going to dump it into any of the other devices that you have. Okay? This wireless vehicle detector is also 433 megahertz, so you're going to get pretty good range out of it. Okay? So we think what we're showing today is a pretty well-rounded product line. Again, we don't talk price on these, but I would really urge you to talk to your sales rep because you will be blown away with the cost. And when you're going up against the competitors and you're saying, look, I can get you trackable transmitters where you can restrict access, see who's coming and going, and you can use an app to open the gate, and the price point you're going to tell them, they'll be blown away. You will win the job every single time. That's what we saw was so unique about this product. And for $8 a month for the device and all of the functionality that we've shown you today with how simple it is to use, we think it's a no-brainer, and it's going to really open a lot of opportunities for you guys to upgrade existing dip switch customers, or any standalone receiver customers need to upgrade to this. Or when you're getting those questions, can I trigger my gate with an app? All of these can now be addressed with this. Again, the app will open from anywhere in the world because it's connected to the internet. Unless you downgrade to the Bluetooth, then you have to be within Bluetooth range of the gate. You've got this awesome wireless vehicle detector that's going to open and trigger the gate, and just a ton of options. Melissa.
What is the voltage requirement for the system? And then second question, could you go over the RFID tag again, please?
Yes. Okay. So the voltage, all the PAL products take 12 through 24 volt DC. It's listed right here. Okay, 12 through 24 volt DC, and use a 500 milliamp, 1000 milliamp. You're going to be fine. So just a standard transformer. The RFID is the antenna. We'll jump over to the software. So the RFID is, you have to buy the RFID kit, which is the RFID PAL receiver, which basically has two F connectors on it, which you can kind of see here. I can't zoom in. You can kind of see they've got red caps over them, but it's going to wire up the same way as the one I have on our gate. You got your relay and then your power, and then you have your, oh, there we go. You got your little F connectors. This is the antenna. It's a little bit longer and skinnier, but it's a really, really high-end antenna. And you're going to put the two F connectors onto the PAL receiver that comes with the kit, and then everything is now programmed through the same interface that I just showed you. Okay, so you can use the RFID tags. And what's so cool about this is usually a lot of the problem is that they want a UHF reader, but they don't want to have to pay for the access control that goes with it, right? Because you always have to have, if they want to monitor, you always have to be plugging in a UHF reader, which is already not cheap, into a full access control system, and then trench the wires to get it there, which can be expensive. So the cost adds up. This, you hang the UHF reader, you wire it into this receiver, you power it up, you're done. And now you have the ability to track, manage, set your 7-day timer. All of the things that full access control will give you is in the PAL software. We have another question.
More of a comment. He's wondering if in the future there could be a 4 relay or even 8 relay option.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know right now we can give you 2. The most we have is 2 relays, but I'm sure it would not be hard to add 4 relays. The transmitter is a 4-button transmitter, so I'm sure that's something we can talk about in the future. Good question, and thank you for the feedback. We have more. We like this. Keep them coming. We like questions. That means we're interested.
He's just wondering what is the gray box behind the PAL that's not part of the PAL
Oh,
system.
so the gray box behind the PAL, this is the control board and the power supply for the key gate operator arms. So we just put it on there because it mounted easily. Okay. Any other questions? That's the presentation. We have these in stock right now, ready to go. We are extremely excited about them. I know we were in Texas. We've been in Texas presenting this. We've been all over, and people love the idea of it because it gives you, as the installer, an option to give your customers what they're looking for and not overwhelm them with stuff that they don't need. That's what we're most excited about. Access control can be extremely overwhelming, and this really says, look, I can get this to you for a really inexpensive price. I'm telling you, you want to find out the price. I wish I could tell you right now because it'd make me look really cool and feel good about myself, but I can't. But call your sales rep or email your sales rep because you need to know how inexpensive these things are. You'll be blown away. That's all I'll say. You'll be blown away with how cheap they are because we know access control and we know how expensive it can get. And so that's why we're excited about this. What other questions can I answer for you? We do have this in stock ready to ship. Yep, in stock ready to ship. That was a question here in-house.
What kind of tags can be used?
Okay, good question. So what kind of tags can be used? I'm going to assume RFID tags. Again, just to go over all the options, we have the remote control, which is the 4-button remote, and then the RFID tags. The tags that we offer currently are a standard isoprox card. Not standard, it's proprietary to this reader, but it is the standard size of an isoprox card, and a sticker tag. a sticker tag. And I'll tell you, this RFID reader, it's high-end. It's really nice, and so are the tags. So you can get a sticker tag or a ISOPROX card.
How do you allow guest entry?
Guest entry, you could add them in. So if I went to the users, that's a really good question. Actually, this is a really simple system to do it. I would just come into users, and I'll show you actually what I would do. I'd come into users, now that you know they're coming, and you can click add, and I would add just their phone number, and I'd call them Quinn guest, and then all you would need to do is leave the remote control serial number blank, restrict their access to when you would want them allowed in, and click dial to open. Sorry, my mouse is being a little weird. And then finish. And what that will do then is then the person they're visiting can then say, hey, download the PAL Gate app, and my gate will show up on your app. And then they can download the app, they can come, as long as they're within the time rate, they can get in, and then you're good to go.
How do you add multiple units to a user?
How do you add oh yeah, so the way you would, if you had more than one device, you would come to settings, you would set up one device, and then you would duplicate the device to the new, every device has, actually we should probably show this, Melissa. Let's go ahead and let's go to this camera. On the back of every device is a serial number. Are we on this camera right here? The back of every device is a serial number. So what you do is you would configure one device with the configuration you want, and then in the software you go to Settings, Tools, and you click on Duplicate Device, and you add the serial number of the new one you're adding in the code, which is also on the back, and then you just press Finish, and it would import all that data automatically into the next device. So it's really, really simple to do.
What are the 3 buttons on the PAL unit for?
What are the 3 buttons on the PAL unit for? Explain that a little bit more. I'm not sure oh, the 3 lights on the PAL unit. Okay, sorry, that makes sense. On the receiver, there's actually 4 lights. You have the 3 lights here are the signal strength for our SIM card. So right now I have 2 bars, 2 out of 5. This is your signal strength, and the 4th light right here is your network light. So if this light is blinking, that means you're not connected to the network. So you need to change your SIM card or call us and we can fix it. If you have a solid network light, that means you're connected and ready to go. So the question was, why 2 antennas? All of the PAL units that accept the transmitters will have an antenna for the SIM card and a 433 antenna for the actual transmitter. The RFID unit does not have 2 transmitters or 2 antennas. It will just have 1 for the SIM card. But 1 is for the SIM card, 1 is for the 433 transmitter. Good question. Thank you very much for taking time to come see this. We have more stuff coming right around the corner. A lot more cool stuff that we're going to be doing these webinars on. So stay in tune on what we're doing. Read our emails. Don't just delete them. And call your sales rep for pricing. Thanks, guys.